Turn on the news, and it seems we hear another story about a devastating forest fire. Imagine facing a wildfire and then being responsible for the safety of over 200 horses. That's what faced Amy Cullen. She wrote a book about her experience. It's called Running Free. This is the kind of pristine Rocky Mountain scenery that was threatened by the troublesome fire. In October of 2020, it hit the Arapahoe National Forest. That's located about 100 miles southwest of Denver. Amy was the operations manager of the Sea Lazy U Ranch, where she supervised over 200 horses and guests and staff.
We started getting very heavy, dark smoke, like over our meadows at the ranch. It was raining ash, so all the horses' manes were covered in ash. So that was like where it went from, I guess in my mind, just another wildfire where we were getting the smoke to maybe a wildfire that might actually impact me and the ranch and the horses.
Nothing in Amy's background as a Philly lawyer turned Colorado wrangler prepared her for what came next.
I had no plan, no idea where we were moving the horses to.
Her first thought was just cut the fences and let the horses run for it.
Once I started thinking about it a little bit more, I was like, yeah, I don't think we can have 200 horses running over, through the county.
So she came up with Plan B.
We found 2 pastures, not too far from the ranch, but maybe 10 miles outside of the pre-evacuation zone.
The picture you paint of looking up and seeing all these headlights descending on the ranch for the first evacuation, I mean, that kind of sent chills up my back.
Everybody in the county that could hook up a trailer to come help us had a trailer helping us move horses. Some people did 2, 3, 4 trips for us. We were able to move all 200 plus horses to those 2 pastures.
The wranglers took a collective sigh of relief. But the challenge wasn't over yet. Amy and the wranglers were just getting the horses settled in. And then,
about a week later, the safe pasture went under mandatory evacuation. And that was when it was pretty scary, because the night before, that was when the fire had kind of blown up, kind of hit Grand Lake, Rocky Mountain National Park, and then the wind kind of came back towards where the horses were pastured. The fire was moving so fast, and it seemed to be doing everything opposite of what they thought it was going to do. That was when we made the decision to move the horses out of the county over Berthoud Pass to Evergreen, Colorado. And that was that second evacuation. That was scary, because there were moments where, I didn't think we were going to get it done. We had flames coming over the one ridge. The wind would knock you over at times. I had horses running all over the place.
Just in the nick of time, the cavalry arrived in the form of the Roundup Riders. It's a volunteer group of Colorado cowboys.
And then, we were loading in the dark. We had to have spotlights and flashlights. Some people drove over 5 hours to help us with their trailers. So it was just a great part of humanity too, to kind of witness all the people that came to help us.
Running Free is about more than just fleeing the fire.
Obviously the fire is fascinating to read about, and everything that happened with the rescue and the dynamics of everything that happened. But then the other theme that I'm pretty proud of, and I have a lot of young women that work for me and, unsure of what they're trying to do with their lives. And that's kind of where my personal story comes in.
Amy's description of her experiences is so gripping. It's easy to forget the book is historical fiction.
The facts of the fire are true to the book. Evacuating 200 plus horses twice, that happened. That's true to the book. What's embellished or what's fictionalized are some of the storylines and some of the characters.
Amy admits she wasn't prepared for the fire and all its challenges. She also wasn't initially prepared to write a book about the experience.
And as I've gotten older, I've realized that, you can kind of do whatever you want, but it's not that easy to kind of convince somebody in their 20s of that mentality. So I wanted to kind of share my personal story.
Running Free is a great read for anyone who loves horses, or who enjoyed the TV series Yellowstone. For Pet Pals TV, I'm Steve Schweitzer.